Exploring the beaten trails, discovering uncharted terrain, connecting with people and places, giving a renewed appreciation for our flora and fauna. We are out and about, from the crystal white sands of Grandin's Beach to the cascading and majestic tumble of Concord Falls, the meandering of the St. John's River, or our undulating mountain ranges. We are out and about. Saturdays, live on GBN Television, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. Out and about, rediscovering the untamed beauty of Spice Country.
At 25 minutes on to the hour, 7 o'clock in the morning time. The voice of Celine Dion. The power of love. Sometimes I'm frightened, but when I'm ready to learn of the power of love. Good morning to you, Grenada, Carrico, Pity Marty. It is Friday. It is the 8th day. We survived the first working week of January. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Yeah, we've done well. Grenada, Carrico, Pity Marty, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, those of you, wherever you are in the diaspora or the other side of the globe, we say good morning, good afternoon to you. It is Friday. It's another great day that we're giving God thanks and praise for being alive and being well. It's one thing just to be alive, but we're well also. We're in charge of our faculties. We can move. We have mobility, our sensory organs, everything. We're still here, and we are being grateful. I'm hoping that you've rested from your night's slumber, and you're up and about, you're bouncing, you got a little peps in your step, and you're ready for another really great day. I'm Joseph Cadore. You call me JC, and it is Friday, and we saying TGIF. It is Friday. Thank God that I'm still alive, and we're still here in the land of the living. I'm not sure what your plans are for today, but remember, we've promised ourselves, not necessarily by the way, just because it's the new year, but we've promised ourselves that we will not allow our emotions on any given day to be affected by the immaturity of others, especially those that act with raw nerves and twisted emotions. Remember, it is their fault that they're unhappy. Yeah? Not yours. Don't fall for it. So, let's jumpstart into things, because remember, of course, by the way of information, there is the news segment at 7:15, and then we will do what we do best on a Friday. Just get you in the groove. So, let's start things off this morning, as I always do. We're going to give you the the tip of the day, thought of the day. Now, life is like a flowing river of opportunities. It is up to you to stand up with a bucket or a spoon. We'll take this one again. Life is like a flowing river of opportunities. It is up to you and I to stand up, be counted, position ourselves, be in the right place to receive, either with a bucket or a spoon. As of today onwards, you blame no man, you blame nobody for where you are in life. Decide and determine, resolve within yourself today, I am going to stand up. Life is going by, passes every one of us. Today I'm going to resolve, do I stand up with a bucket or do I stand up with a spoon? That's for you to churn on, to assimilate, to process today. Am I going to stand up with a bucket or am I going to stand up with a spoon? So that's the thought for today. Now, I'm going to give you also a word for the day. No, the word for today, the 8th of January, the first working week of the year, is devious. Devious. And devious is an adjective. Devious, D-E-V-I-O-U-S. So what does devious mean? So devious could be a wandering, roundabout, moving without a fixed course. Yes. Out of the way, remote, or deviating from a right, accepted, or common course. You're not straightforward. You're cunning, or you're deceptive. You're a crook. You're worthless. Your mind tear up like fig leaf. Devious. D-E-V-I-O-U-S. So, how do I use it in a sentence? I will take this one from a quote from the book The Courier. Monkeys, he says. Oh my word. Just as nasty as can be. They are little naked people, only more devious. Yes. Are you devious? I don't know. Are you cunning? Are you deceptive? You're a bit tricky? Or maybe you've taken a different path in life. You deviated from that which society has accepted to be the norm. So the word for today, devious, is an adjective, and it is spelled D-E-V-I-O-U-S. That's the word for today. That's the word for today. We're getting ready, of course, for the morning edition. That is at 15 minutes to the hour. That's in the next 5 minutes or so. And certainly, as you get up and about, keeping your eyes on the clock, 20 minutes onto the hour, there's so much that we can give God thanks for. Only yesterday, we were up last night, actually, as the story unfolded of that tragic incident that took place up at Mid River, that's at Guava State, where an entire family has been left homeless. A boulder came loose and literally plummeted through their dwelling home, and a mother of two and her fiance, literally, they're homeless right now. The things we take for granted. Think about it. There's a lot of that is happening. And I'm hearing this morning the unconfirmed reports of a fire in the Cherry Hill area. Again, I said that there's unconfirmed reports. From my end, I've seen bits and snippets on social media, but in terms of the details of it and the specifics, I'm not sure. But it makes you realize that life is volatile. There's a lot that's happening. So where you are, as you get up and about today, it allows us to be grateful. Reminding you that the licensing, inspection, and registration, that process continues today at various points across the island. So today, get up and be counted and ask yourself, am I going to decide? And reminding you that life is like a flowing river of opportunities. It is up to you to stand up. Either, and you don't just stand, you make a decisive, determined decision to stand either with a bucket or a spoon. What say you? For our friends on radio, the morning edition comes up in just a bit. And those of you listening to television will send you back to Master Control, where you are going to, of course, be given a rebroadcast of some of the top stories from last evening's newscast. Right? So I'll leave you here for now, and I'll see you on the other side of the clock.
News reached GBN at about 3 p.m. today of a boulder which smashed into a house at Guava State in St. John. Footage obtained via social media shows the partial remains of a house displaced from its foundation with debris scattered everywhere. As the video pans out into the road, a massive rock is seen settled in the road at the bottom of the house, standing taller than the roof of another house which it came to a halt next to. GBN's Joseph Cadore is live on the scene at Guava State in St. John. We will join Cadore at a later part in this newscast for an update on this situation. CARICOM added its collective voice to recent happenings in the United States. Chairman of the 15-member Caribbean Community CARICOM, Dr. Keith Rowley, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, says the regional body is deeply saddened and concerned at the unprecedented scenes that unfolded at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. during the certification of the votes of the presidential elections by the U.S. Congress. In Grenada, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said the U.S. president needs to accept defeat. Jared Joseph takes us through the latest developments in the U.S.
The U.S. Capitol locked down Wednesday with lawmakers inside as violent clashes broke out between supporters of President Donald Trump and police. During the unrest, 4 people were killed and over 50 arrested. The joint session to count votes was interrupted by protesters who stormed the Capitol, leading to a long delay. However, Congress certified Joe Biden as president-elect around 3:45 a.m. on Thursday. A bolstered group of law enforcement officers, which included reinforcements from the U.S. Marshals Service, the FBI, and other agencies, ejected protesters and allowed the legislators to reconvene and count electoral votes. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell joined his regional colleagues in addressing the issue.
I am one who firmly believes that if you have to be a good leader, you have to be a good loser. That's my fundamental philosophy. I don't think, and I say this to my own members of my team. So I say that to everybody, and I say to my President of the United States, be a good loser. That to me, that's all I would say as an individual, and to wish the American people the best as they go forward. Because clearly, a stable and peaceful America is a good thing for Grenada and the rest of the world.
Grenadian attorney in the U.S., Denison George, says it is a frightening development as deficiencies were exposed in the democratic system, a situation which was championed by President Donald Trump.
It sends a terrible, terrible, terrible message to the world. And it's a message that I don't think it might take centuries, maybe decades, to recover from.
He says it was a dark day in the U.S. with the Confederate flag being flown in the Capitol.
Not only that, they erected a noose to symbolize lynching, and they stormed the Capitol. They made their point. So many of the racist group, the Proud Boys, the Ku Klux Klan, they were all there yesterday to send a message to the world that they owned America.
George notes the leniency shown by the police was unlike the strong-handed approach during the Black Lives Matter march. He believes if the roles were reversed, there would be thousands of African Americans dead or arrested. He is, however, optimistic that a Democratic-led Senate will bode well for the Black or Caribbean community.
You know, I'm hoping that the Biden presidency would be more favorable to the Caribbean countries in terms of aid, in terms of immigration. And, you know, Trump didn't give a damn about the Caribbean. It was America first.
George says President-elect Joe Biden must now set a tone for the country of racial harmony and lead by appointing a balanced cabinet, among others. I am Jared Joseph for GBN News.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell isn't going anywhere anytime soon. After repeating on several occasions his plans to bow out of frontline politics, he proudly told members of the media on Thursday that he will be around for a while. GBN's Chrislina John was the one who quizzed the Prime Minister on this issue.
With the Prime Minister's political career spanning over 3 decades, many are of the view that he will exit his seat sooner rather than later. Past statements made by the Prime Minister himself said so.
It is an open secret that we are approaching an election period here at home. This season must not be just about who will win the next election, but what sort of future we are determined to shape. For a nation to remain viable, it must find creative ways to regenerate its spirit, to refresh its leadership, and to inspire the youth sooner than later to take up their rightful places. This is why I've already indicated that this upcoming election campaign will likely be the last one in which I participate. The process of transitioning to new leadership has therefore begun.
Speculations fly as to whom he will hand over leadership of the country to if this was to take place. Well, a response was provided by the Prime Minister when the question was thrown at him by one member of the media on Thursday.
The decision has been made. I would have preferred not to have. I think there are rationale based on my own colleagues' views and general perception, and this might be the right time after the next election to hand over the reins to someone. So it looks likely, highly likely, that I will certainly run, unless, of course, I have some health issues or physical problems.
To reinforce his stance, the PM jokingly expressed his physique.
And I'm sure you recognize that I don't look too badly. So maybe better than someone to see me go out and calling me old. I know I look better and able to do some things better than some of them who look much younger than I am. So.
Can you elaborate, Mr. Prime Minister?
Elaborate on what, Mikey? And what I can do better than others? No money.
The Grenadian leader has been Prime Minister since 2013, previously served as Prime Minister from 1995 to 2008. Dr. Mitchell is the longest-serving Prime Minister Grenada has ever had, holding the office for almost 19 years. Christina John, GBN News.
Opposition leader Tobias Clement has joined the line of skeptics to government's explanation on the financing of the repurchase of WRB shares in Grenada. Clement is calling on government to come clean, as he says the money they claim came from the country's 2020 capital budget was insufficient. Details in this report.
The money does not add up. That's a statement made by opposition leader and MP for St. George's North East Tobias Clement after his threat on Wednesday to take legal action against government over the handling of the repurchase of WRB shares in Grenada. In a press briefing on Wednesday, Clement says after rigorously examining and investigating Grenada's 2020 budget under its provisional estimate and capital project, he is yet to see where government accumulated the $63 million to purchase Grenada shares from WRB. He said if government truly acquired the finance from savings of the country's 2020 capital budget, there would be a $70 to $80 million shortfall.
Capital budget book says that the monies that was allocated, but it's not really money, that is what you hope to spend. $225.3 million. The actual provisional for 2020 was $122.1 million. That is what they said that they would spend in the capital project. So it means, therefore, what you are left with is $102.2 million. But if you bought Grenada for $63 million or 70-something million, if it's $63 million is $170 million EC. 102.2 is not 170, so we still shortfall by approximately $70 to $80 million. What you actually spend was 122.1. So it means maybe if you have it, you could save 102.2. So the money that was saved from capital project is not enough by $70 million to purchase. It's just a simple math. It's not enough. So the question is, I ask, where did they really get the money from?
According to the opposition leader, the only way he believes government can obtain such money is through the Citizen by Investment Program Transformation Fund. He is calling for government to clear the air on the matter.
how much you pay for it, what monies is outstanding, how much is a lot that we do not know. I mean, I do not even know if the transaction is yet complete, or if we have certain time to pay it, or if where we got it, if they took all the money from anywhere within the allocation of government, then they would have to put it back in a certain time. But we're not getting, and what I am asking for clarity. The country and the population, it doesn't matter who you are. The country now is thirsting for information surrounding the purchase of the share from WRB by the government.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, during a special interview with the media on Thursday, said his administration did nothing wrong in purchasing Grenada shares from WRB.
It's unfortunate that the opposition, not even attempting to ask a question of those in authority, will talk about an illegal act. Clearly he doesn't understand what an illegal act is, and we will certainly be showing him that. I hope he shows up on Tuesday and be informed accordingly as to the correctness of the legality and the beneficial aspect of that particular acquisition, which we have negated, was certainly in the best interests of.
Prime Minister Mitchell says Grenadians should be grateful for government's decision to repurchase Grenada.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Do you want to wait for the wheel to start spinning? Be quick. When your wheel lands on the correct price of the day, screenshot the price and send your screenshot to the Spin to Win chat to enter the promotion. Click the Daily Updates button to get updates on the prize you are required to spin for each day, and also to know if you are the lucky winner of the day.
A Merry Christmas, spin and win with Bib.
Feel good tax. Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
Feel good facts. Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Feel good facts.
Help prevent cold and flu by washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. That's the time it takes to remove most germs. No soap and water? No worries when you've got alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
As mentioned earlier, a massive boulder smashed into a house in Guava State earlier today. We now have live online Joseph Cadore, who brings us up to speed with what transpired.
Well, Sherry, what I can tell you right now, it has become a salvaging process. Literally, as it is right now, the community has in fact responded to the call for help. I spoke with the occupant of the house, a 35-year-old Donella Thomas, and she's broken, shattered, and literally counting her blessings. I was up on this scene, Sherry, and literally the house has been decimated. I mean, we've seen the signs of the boulder, and I mean, from all accounts, folks are saying, listen, we are grateful that no one was at home. So as I said, it's a rented property. She lives there with her two kids, one 13 and the other one 11, along with her fiance. One of the highlights, though, being up here, the folks are being great. They're counting the blessings that there was no fatality, and I think, I mean, that is the one good takeaway from it. I mean, literally, it's interesting that in the midst of everything, while they were salvaging, they actually found a lamp. It was whole, and she sort of smiled, you know, and as though to suggest, in the midst of everything, all is not lost. For her, it's about starting over as it is. I can tell you that speaking with her, the kids, they are safe. They will be with their grandparents for the night. But for her, counting her blessings, the intention is tomorrow, come start all over. One of the highlights, Sherry, that was really, really touching because there was an outpouring of support. The family came together. But just before you called, one of the elders in the village literally called a prayer. And it's the sort of thing that literally touches you on the inside. That in the midst of adversity, you know, individuals, they always look to somebody for help, for support, and the community they were here, it was literally a rallying cry saying, difficult times, dark times, but the fact that if you put your trust in Jesus, there are better days ahead. So, Sherry, that's what it is. I've said for her, it's all about tomorrow. She's grateful. She's alive. Her two kids are okay. Beyonce is okay. And it's just about her trying to salvage, put the pieces together. And question is, as I said, it was a close one, a close encounter of a different kind, but with a good ending in that no one was injured, no fatality at all.
Thank you, Joseph. The Ministry of Health announces that Grenada has recorded one new case of COVID-19, bringing our current total of active cases to 4. The new case is imported, a 48-year-old female who arrived in Grenada from the United States and proceeded directly to quarantine, where she was later diagnosed. Of the 4 current active cases, 2 are locals who are connected to previously diagnosed cases on island, and 2 are imported. All positive cases and their contacts are in quarantine. In the last week, health officials have been able to clear most of the previously diagnosed cases connected to the cluster. Nevertheless, aggressive testing continues on both travelers and locals who have been identified as contacts or who have reported any type of symptoms similar to those of COVID-19. Independence Day is exactly 1 month away, but with the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic, celebrations will not be the same this year. On Thursday, the National Celebrations Committee unveiled the logo and theme for this year's celebration and the plans to celebrate the country's 47th anniversary of independence.
The annual Independence Day celebration is the latest calendar event to be altered due to the COVID-19 pandemic. During a press conference by the National Celebrations Committee Thursday, Chair of the committee, John Williams, unveiled the timeline of events.
We will be kicking off with a number of our sporting events. The female football tournament has been planned along with a secondary school under 15 cricket tournament. On the 31st, we had planned for our on the 31st for our 47th anniversary of Independence National Economical Service. So we're looking at the 31st, Sunday the 31st, and also the 7th of February for the services. On February the 1st to the 6th, we are looking at our parish beautification. We have not moved away from that. And what we are doing for this year, we are asking parishes and constituencies to do something in line with what we have done in previous years. National Colors Day, well, we need something to make us all very happy and jolly. So that is on.
Concerning the most anticipated annual Independence Day parade, Williams said so far plans are still in the talking stage with the Royal Grenada Police Force for what may be a virtual parade, as it will be difficult to pull off while enforcing the COVID-19 regulations.
But we've been speaking with police in terms of how we're going to carry out and execute this particular event. Plans are being made. We are not able to say exactly how many contingents, what's going to take place, but police are working on that, and I've spoken to the officers involved, and as we get nearer to the time, we would be able to share with you exactly what is going to be taking place. But that also will be on a virtual platform, so no, we will not be having any spectators at the stadium.
Minister for Culture Leoland Bain Horsford revealed the theme for this year's celebration.
So, the theme is rebuilding together a safer, more resilient nation in these challenging times. And I believe it's quite fitting because we are coming together to rebuild. Grenada we have always been a resilient nation, and these times are very challenging. So the composition of the theme is very relevant and very fitting for this time around.
The Celebrations Committee is asking members of the public to work together towards the beautification of communities on Independence Week. National Colors Day will be celebrated on Friday, February 5th, 2021.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Get Rubigas. Get cooking. Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas?
Get Rubis, get going.
This is a plastic bag. From February 1st, these bags are not to be used when shopping for food. So here's what you should do. Refuse plastic. Instead, bring your own reusable shopping bags and say goodbye to plastic. Choose to refuse plastic. Walk with your reusable shopping bags and help protect pure Grenada from plastic pollution. A message from the Ministry of Climate Resilience.
No, that's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact.
wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Can't wait to see my granddaughter.
Coughs and sneezes spread diseases. So cover coughs and sneezes, please. Not with a rag or bandana. They trap germs. When you use the rag again, you put germs on your hands and everything else you touch. When you cough or sneeze, cover your mouth and nose with tissue. Throw the tissue in a bin and wash your hands afterwards. If you don't have a tissue, cough into your sleeve or elbow. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers are also effective in cleaning hands.
Residents of the Limes, Grenada, and St. George will soon take a breath of fresh air as the mountain of rubbish accumulated for months will soon be out of sight. One young man is willing to volunteer his time towards cleaning up the mound of garbage collected by one mentally challenged resident of the Limes, St. George. J.B. Bishop says as a young person he was moved, realizing the effect this can have on people's health. He is hoping that others can join him in the cleanup or contribute anything towards the cause.
Tonight, while I was going through Facebook, I saw a video with this guy that needed a little assistance in cleaning because the people around, they've been complaining, with the scent and the affecting everybody. So I decided, well, I would love to volunteer myself in helping clean up the area because I noticed it's been a challenge for the people and at home doing my own thing. So I decided I could volunteer myself. The assistance I would like is if anybody have any gloves, bag, anybody willing to help, come out and volunteer their time also. I'm glad for that.
Minister for Health and Parliamentary Representative for the area, Nicholas Steele, promised in 1 week's time something will be done. Speaking to the minister earlier today, he welcomed Jamie's willingness and says he too will assist with additional workmen and equipment to have the rubbish removed. This is expected to take place this weekend. The Grenada Union of Teachers and the Ministry of Education may have to look back on the strategy of upward and onward within schools. GUT President Marvin Andel says it is no secret that the closure of schools due to the pandemic, learning gaps have been created, which resulted in some students getting left behind. Andel admits that there is a challenge for teachers to cover an entire syllabus during this time when COVID-19 has disrupted the entire education system.
It is a challenge to cover the scope of work within the specific time. Because to deliver a year's content may take more than a year. And we may have to have a discussion on the issue of social promotion. Whereas because you've reached the end of the year, you go to a new grade, in this time may have to be reconsidered. The fact that you've spent a year in a particular grade that you move on may not be the best thing, because at this point you may not have covered the amount of instructions that is required at that level. So it is a conversation that needs to be held, and we have to examine what options can be created.
Andel, a teacher by profession, explains that the goal is to ensure that all students succeed, even if it requires students to repeat classes. He spoke of other ways in which the learning gaps can be closed.
The basics, the only the triage, the reading, the writing, the arithmetic, must be strengthened. Because if a child becomes a good reader early, a lot of the learning they can do on their own, because they are now become independent to some extent, and the other content areas can be covered. That is one thing that can be done. Looking at pushing back dates for terminal exams, giving children more time to cover the course of work is something that can also be considered. But we need to really engage collectively on a strategy that can enable the learning gaps to be bridged.
EC Polymer Notes, our new money.
Here's how you can detect genuine EC Polymer Notes. Feel. Polymer notes feel smoother than the material from which paper notes are made. Also, the front of each note has raised bumps at the top left-hand corner. These bumps form shapes that are familiar to you. Look for the clear window at the front and back of each note. This window allows you to see through the notes. If you hold the notes up to the light, you'll see the value of the note in an area of plain colored print. Tilt. A holographic foil is on the $100, $50, and $20. The images move and their colors change when you tilt the notes. Remember, detecting genuine EC Polymer notes is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Feel, look, and tilt.
EC Polymer Notes. Cleaner, safer, stronger.
Breaking barriers. Going beyond the ordinary. Examining the stories beyond what meets the eyes. GBN gets to the meat of the matter. Join us on GBN Television, Classic Radio, gbn.gd, or on Facebook via your smartphones and other devices. We take you beyond the headlines every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. We are GBN, rated number 1.
You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus.
It's on to the hour, and we want to say welcome back to our friends that have joined us on television. We say thanks for being patient with us. Well, unfortunately, though, we have to say goodbye to those of you that's locked in via YouTube and via our Facebook channel as we continue with the rest of the program. But certainly reminding you, I'm going to rejoin you at 9 o'clock for To The Point, where we'll be having an open line. So, but those of you that's here with us, so folks on television, those on Hot 98, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you, the bus drivers of the nation, the nurses, doctors, the farmers. Yeah, very often we tend to, not make mention of the farm. What we find, they look a little bit too shabby. Yeah, no, you still know that. Anyway, so let's do this.